landmines of life for men. Life is like a war zone. We have to be cautious about where we're stepping, where we're putting our focus, where we're putting our energy, and where we are mapping our next steps. A lot of us through our life, we consistently blow ourselves up, regardless if that's blowing opportunities up, blowing up progress in your business or in your career, blowing up, your opportunities in the future because you're messing with the wrong woman. There's so many different landmines that are set throughout life that we are not aware of that I feel like we need to talk about because I want to see you win. I want to see you develop into the person that you're supposed to be. So, gentlemen, let's kick it off and make sure to stay to the third landmine because that's the most important one and the most deadly, and it has usually the most throughout our life. So, let's kick it off with number one. Number one, the first landmine of life that for men that we continuously always step on is pride and ego. Your pride and ego will always be your downfall. Pride will have you thinking that you know everything. Pride will have you thinking that you basically don't need any help. Ask the most successful people in sports, in business, all the millionaires, all the pro athletes. There is no way they could have got where they're at by themselves. That's like an NFL player trying to go to the league without having a trainer. Come on, man. That don't make sense. So us having pride and being arrogant will make us think that we don't need help. Or if not, we feel like we are not capable of completing things or accomplishing things on our own because we ask for help. Asking for help is really a step of courage. Asking for help is actually what true leaders do because you just like your strength, your strong spots, you got to be able to know your weak spots and where you need improvement at. But pride will have you thinking that you don't need help. And most of the time, we're stuck in chapters in our life because we don't want to ask for help. But we expect people to ask us for help. We got to do better, y'all. But pride will also have you not admitting fault. A lot of us are blowing up and stepping on the landmine of not admitting fault. A lot of us are going to lose or have lost a lot of friendships, a lot of job opportunities, a lot of friends, just because we weren't able to admit fault. Well, really, that's probably one of the most worst character flaws that you can have as a man is no self-awareness. You can't progress forward if you're not even able to admit to where you're wrong at. People actually admire people who are able to fall on the sword. A lot of the times when you mess up or you do things that aren't okay to people, all they want to hear is, hey, I'm sorry, or I apologize. That was on me. I take responsibility for that. I'm going to make sure I try not to do that to you again or give you that kind of experience. That right there is what true leadership is. That right there is what true masculinity is. But that is one big thing is just our pride will have us feeling like we are not able to admit fault in areas where we need to improve at. Another thing with pride will have you out here thinking that you're better than everybody. When we all get buried in the same dirt, you know how you go into rooms, or you going to the gym, or you going to different areas, and like you feel different men sizing you up. Men look at that as a insecurity thing. Real masculine men, when we are getting sized up from other men, we look at that as a big insecurity. So you're really reflecting your insecurities on another man. When at the end of the day, we don't size each other up. If a man's doing better than me, I admire that. I try to look in areas he's stronger than me in and see how I'm able to grow. Hey, I might even be a real one and go ask for help. But pride will have us thinking that we are basically better than people, or like always sizing up ourselves compared to people when all that is just a big insecurity. But let's jump to ego. Ego is the next big one. Ego will always trick you out your spot. Ego will always have you focusing on your flaws rather than your positives. All of us have flaws in life. We're all going to have areas that we need to improve. But how can we build our self-confidence or get where we need to go in life if we're always focusing on only the negatives about ourselves? Everybody only shows the positives online on social media, which is why I'm not big on being on social. But nobody shows the cons. But our ego will have us feeling like we're not enough. Just the other day, I woke up in the morning and I woke up feeling like I wasn't enough. But I had to focus on winning that moment and making sure that I didn't let that moment detour my whole day. Because guess what? If I let that moment run my day would have been horrible. But there's plenty of times, even till this day, where I wake up and I still feel like I'm not enough. And I have to work on myself throughout the entire day to get myself out of that mood, because once you go down that slope, you're going. But that's what your ego will do. Your ego will basically block all of your self-awareness. All the signs that you're looking for in life, your ego will have you focus on a whole different thing and missing all those signs. Your ego will have you chasing things that really aren't for you. But that's another thing. It's just ego and pride, man. We got to get out of our own way. Half of the time, we be saying, "Oh, the world